versus sustainable. I also use the words loving versus unloving, or logical versus irrational. A lot of people lean on terms like good versus bad, or good versus good and evil, and like fair or unfair, or like why would you do one thing or the other, or you start to use these other terms like you're being a jerk or an a-hole, all that. It's better to encapsulate it in the formal terms like unsustainable or unloving. And so you look at these characters, and number one, they don't put vulva as number one. You can see that by their desire to have more than one woman. If you wanted more than one woman, it means you think one woman's not attractive enough. And also it means that you're either sharing women with other men, which is quasi-homosexual, or you are having multiple wives, which is also unsustainable, because it means that ends up meaning that there's like some men without any women, and eventually those men will create problems in society, either for you or your children. And so that's what I mean by unsustainable. Is shit. No, you fucking asshole. It just like it's not makes sense for the long term, like for your kids. Like Andrew Tate still hasn't, like, although seems to be a family man now, he hasn't like overtly disavowed all his whole like narrative of the like, oh, like I'm into, all these women, and I'm like smoking and drinking, and then he says he's practices Muslim, which whenever somebody says that hey, Infinity, aloha. Whenever somebody says that they're practicing like a religion, like it really means that if they are, then it means that they should be practicing the original Orthodox version of it, which is, it basically means no premarital intimacy. That's like the core tenet of all religions, and then people water it down. And I have more respect for the person who says they're honest and says, well, I don't think marriage is loving. Holy fucking. And I don't think marriage is a good idea. Like, at least they're being transparent, and you can like. But then you have these people who say they're religious, but then they're like hiding in these layers of they're hiding in all these layers of like deception, self-deception, the deception of others. A lot of times when people deceive themselves, like Andrew Tate, or like Myron Gaines, Fresh and Fit, or Andrew, what's his name, Jay Waller. These guys are in their own way cool. Like, it's cool that they hold on a second here, boys. It's cool that they work hard, and they have developed companies, and they try to motivate other men, and try to it's fun, but without the aspect of being marriage oriented, without it being health oriented. Like, they may be strong, these guys, they're strong people, but if they're drinking alcohol and if they're eating like stuff that's got a lot of cholesterol, then obviously that's not healthy. You know what I mean? So oh, infinity. So basically, right, it's like they are, and then how do we define cool? Well, then that becomes ambiguous as well. So what we really need to do is just say whether something is sustainable or not. And so what these guys do is not sustainable, in my opinion, and it's also, it's not really relatable. Like this idea of like their fundamental idea is that, you know, the only way to be attractive to women is like as if you're in this like ruler of the jungle, you know, like animal scenario where you have to try to, you know, like be stronger than all the other males. But it's not, it's stressful to do that. Hey, what's up, Burr? Yeah, we used to do stuff together, but the reality is he's not marriage oriented, so he's, you know, he has his own routine, and I haven't talked to him in, you know, like 6 years or so. But, you know, hopefully he's feeling good, and who knows, maybe he's trying to get his life together. So here's the thing about truth, guys, is that when you, as a man, when you really express yourself authentically, when you reveal your imperfections to the world, when you see yourself as being this like you authentically say that, oh, you know, I really like to eat this, and I like this music, and I like this lifestyle, and I, you know, don't like this and this and this, then what it does is it reduces the pool of people, you know, who'd be romantically interested in you, and that's a good thing. Like, that makes it so there's only going to be that one special one who will truly like you. But see, these guys don't think like that. The way they think is that amass as much wealth as you can, and then, you know, have multiple women and like perpetuate your lineage. But like, what people don't realize is, I think that may be a biological thing, and it's good to think of, oh, what woman would, you know, whose, you know, genetics do I want to perpetuate myself in, and who do I find attractive? But it's like it's just as much like relevant as culture. It's about what type of culture do you want to perpetuate, and that's what makes you being human special. Like, it's not just like this raw, like, animal, like, you know, oh, you know, the fittest and strongest. You know, now it's like there's more possibilities, and part of it is difficult because what happens is people don't, like, you can't trust people as much. It's not like a small town, you know, religious environment where people know each other and where they know each other, and they know that they're not gonna seduce each other. Like, they can like the people can trust one another. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is, and I'll conclude by saying this. Number one, these guys do not worship vulva. In fact, people like Andrew Tate, Myron Gaines of Fresh and Fit, also like the John Zerka, like these guys who on the surface seem like they are, you know, tall, have good genetics. They seem like they have money and they're, you know, that they're like the coolest. The reality is they are not, they don't like vulva. Like they don't like to give oral sex, and they talk openly about it. You can research that. And they see it as this like submission to women, but for me, I see it as it's like the desire to get off and you practically use a woman like a an extension of masturbation. To me, it's not the real you. It's not the real man. Like the real man is the one who, you know, controls his own desires through masturbation if needed, and then as a, you know, and so he's not like, see, that's what women want, is they want a man who doesn't seem desperate for sex to get off, but rather he has control of himself. And so for me, that's how I'm going to operate. Even when I'm married, I'm not going to, you know, expect sex from my wife. I'm going to be willing to give her oral sex, be willing to give her massages. And if she wants sex, then fine. But by the way, you can always fuck the thighs of a woman as well. And that's like, you know, because women's vaginas not always function well, right? And equally, men's, you know, privates don't always function, but woman's vulva obviously always functions. So, and we can, and that's our human experience, you know, that's what we want to cultivate, that as it being an experience of who we are. And so, but like I said, the other way that they're unsustainable is they're not trying to be family oriented. Like it's what I understand to be the Madonna whore complex, where they try to say that, oh, they want like virgin women, like especially Myron Gaines. If you really look into this guy's ideology, what he'll do is he'll say that I'm, you know, want a virgin woman from a foreign culture, and then yet perpetuate the culture currently of premarital intimacy and you know, acting like they you know, they are, what's it called, like acting like they, like everything's good, but it's really not, you know, it's really not. And so bringing all this to a conscious level, thank you guys, thank you for talking, and hey, hope you're feeling good about it. I'm gonna sign off. I gotta deal with some stuff, but we'll talk more soon, okay? Aloha.